Hey everyone, welcome to ZSR. Today we have a Link to the Past No Major Glitches League Season 10 race. We got Papi versus Sky in the Eastern Palace Division. On commentary, we got MChan338, and they will take it from here.
All right, thank you for having me. Hello everybody. My name is MChan338, and I'm very excited to be commentating this race of A Link to the Past No Major Glitches race. We have Pappy, who has a time of 133. He has a 133, which he got 5 days ago. That's a very recent PB. Meanwhile, his opponent is Darkened Sky, who has a time of 128.07. So Pappy does have quite a bit of work going for him, but it's not impossible. We Upsets are bound to happen in any tournament. It could be the day. Today could be the day. Who knows? But it looks like the countdown is starting. So we will get the races started pretty soon. And they have begun. Despite the PB discrepancies, it's not impossible. A Link to the Past as a game itself is pretty difficult. So, it's like I said earlier, not impossible for upsets to happen. It's bound to happen any tournament, no matter what kind of tournament you run, of any skill level, really. So, as they begin, they're going to get up from bed after Uncle tells us to stay in bed, but we're not going to listen to that. So for any of the new viewers, this is no major glitches, and what no major glitches means is they can't do any wrong warps out of bounds or any other trick that skips a large part of the game. So if you know this game very well, then you'll still see all the traditional stuff that you see in a casual playthrough, but faster, with some major exceptions. So they get the sword. And as you can see, as soon as they fall down the well, they see their uncle already defeated. So our uncle telling us to stay in bed is already off to a great start. So now they're going off to Hyrule Castle. Now the first couple of segments in the run, you don't really see too much of a separation in terms of skill. So you'll be seeing these runners finishing off both segments pretty close to each other here. So they're going to make their way downstairs, and they're going to fight off this blue soldier. Looks like Darkened Sky and also Pappy, they both missed the double spin on that blue soldier. They're trying to set it up in a way where the soldier would get hit by the spin attack 2 times for a double spin, and that didn't quite work out the way that they were both hoping for. It doesn't really lose too much time, so not the end of the world here. Meanwhile, right there, they got both of them are getting a spin attack there. Nice double spin on that blue soldier for both runners there, and they're going to get the boomerang, which is optional, but they pick up anyway because it's faster to pick it up, as they can use the boomerang to stun enemies, go right through them, and also pick up items from a distance. So it's a pretty useful item, despite it being optional. And now they're coming up to the mini-boss of the dungeon here, which is the Ball and Chain Guard. So we'll see what's going on here. Okay, so we're seeing 2 different approaches here. We have Darkened Sky going for the 8 slashes, which is technically faster than what you saw Pappy do, which is the 1-pot, 4 slashes method. However, the way that Pappy did it was safer than the traditional 8 slashes, because as you saw, Darkened Sky actually took a hit while he was doing the 8 slashes, so it can be pretty risky if you're not careful with the 8 slashes. But Sky got out of that fight just fine with only 1 hit, so that's good. You can very easily die very easily. Because the ball and chain guard does do 1 heart of damage, which is a lot this early in the game when you only have 3 hearts to work with. So they rescued Zelda, and they also got the lamp. And one of the more common questions for some of the new viewers is, why did you skip the lamp in Link's house? And the answer to that is just it's just slightly faster to get into jail. So as you can see right here, there's different approaches to this hallway. You saw Papi boomerang one of the soldiers in an attempt to get that soldier out of the way, whereas Dark Sky was attempting to go right through the soldiers. It all kind of depends on the RNG patterns you get throughout the rooms. All the enemies they move at random directions. They always start off in the same way, but they move in random positions. So you kind of have to react to what you're given in every situation. So we're seeing Dark Sky grab the extra heart. Pretty good, smart move, because if you get majorly unlucky throughout the sewer section, then all the damage that you take here, like the enemies do not hit hard in this section, but the damage can add up. Okay, so we're seeing Dark Sky doing a really good job at avoiding damage there. You saw him kind of just weave around the snake and the keys as he was getting that key. Oh, kind of moved up a little bit too much as he got hit by that bat. Not a big deal here. Alright. Nobody getting overly trolled by the key rat, as the key rat can actually go up to the very top in the left side of the room, which is pretty big. Not a big time loss, but it is a time loss over what they just got there. Ooh, Dark Sky kind of messed up the grab there, and as you can see right here, they are completely synced. They both got exiting Castle of Hyrule was 559. They are even. This is what we like to see this early on. Like I said, the first couple of segments here, you won't be seeing too much separation, so you kind of expect the runners to be pretty close here. And Papi going for the Sanctuary Heart, Dark Sky also going for it. Papi very slightly in the lead after Dark Sky's unfortunate RNG throughout the sewer section in the escape. But there's a lot of game left, so they're making their way to Eastern Palace, which is their first real dungeon. And for any of the new viewers, it is actually technically faster to save and quit, as when you save and quit, you can respawn in different parts of the overworld. So in this case, they can actually spawn at Link's house, which is actually much closer to Eastern Palace, and it would save time, but this category does not allow the use of save and quit, as part of old rule set from back when this game Speedrun was being developed during the Speed Demos Archives era. So as you can see, there's you'll be seeing the runners do different things every once in a while, where you'll be seeing runners like either slash enemies out of their way, or they're using the boomerang in order to stun enemies out of their way. Seeing a combination of that between the runners here. The other thing that you're seeing the runners do that's not apparently obvious for anybody just watching runs is they're actually wiggling left and right as they go up the stairs. It's ever so slightly faster. And it's very free to do. So, okay, nice. They both got blue rupee drops. So they are actually set on rupees, as they can actually get all the rupees that they need automatically as part of the route. So we might be seeing Sky grab, yep, so we're seeing Sky grab the right pot and Papi going for the upper pot. Very slightly faster to get the upper pot if you don't eat the hearts. As you see, Sky did take 1 heart of damage on the way to Eastern Palace, so he is opting to get the right side pot in order to get a heart. Pretty smart move, as the first major trick of the run does require some intentional damage, and if it doesn't go well, then at least you have the hearts for safety here, and they're both going for the safety arrows, as without the arrows, you know, you'll be relying on an arrow drop towards the end of the dungeon without losing too much time, and they don't need to rely on that now. So they go inside this dark room right here, and let's see what they got here. Okay, they both got the key. Darkened Sky taking a bit of damage while getting the key. And so what they're going to do here in this upcoming room is they're going to try and damage boost off of an enemy and then use the iframes to grab the pot that has the switch. Just like that. Both of them doing it just fine right there. That was very clean on both runners. Not losing too much health. And they are still very close as they are approaching the bow. And so they don't need to fight any of the enemies in that room earlier, and that's a pretty huge time save because normally you have to fight all the enemies. So they get the bow, and the bow does not come with arrows. So you just saw why you saw both runners go out of their way to get arrows. Okay, Papi. A little bit issues with the Popo as he was getting that key. As you see, they're going to be stocking up on quite a bit of arrows. They're going to be needing a lot of them throughout the run. Fortunately, in this game, the arrow routing is not the most precise in comparison to some other Zelda games. See, Darkened Sky using 2 pots, Papi using 2 arrows. Kind of depends on what strats you're most comfortable with. And also the patterns that the Stalfos gives you. And then now we're seeing Sky being the first one to Armos Knights. Seeing similar approaches with Armos Knights. 5 arrows. Oh! Papi giving an extra arrow on the very last one. Yeah, so that's what happens here. So normally what you're supposed to do, what you saw Sky do, and I would imagine that that extra arrow on the side there on Papi's screen was an accident, where you want to make sure that the last Armos does not turn red, otherwise he gains all of his health back, and then it takes a little bit more arrows to beat it. Unfortunately there, it's a little small time loss for Papi, but it's not the end of the world. As now they have completed Eastern Palace, and now that they've completed Eastern Palace, they're going to go over here, talk to Sahasrahla, and they're going to get the Pegasus boots, and then this is where the run starts to go pretty fast. So again, this is not necessarily where we're going to be seeing some separation in terms of you know, execution just yet. So they're going to get the boots here, and as you see, Sky. A little bit of trouble here trying to set up a super speed. Okay, so Papi is doing a different rupee route than what Sky is going for. Sky is going to get his 100 rupees somewhere else instead, and it is technically faster if you can execute it really well. Papi is going for the Sahasrahla rupees, as well as extra bombs, and the extra bombs could play a role in this next dungeon, assuming that I imagine what he might be going for. I don't think he's gonna do it, but that's what I imagined what the extra bombs would be for. But anyway, super speed. You press A right after releasing your spin attack, and that's how they were able to get into that super speed state and go out, exit the stairs, and then move really fast. And it saves them from having to like continuously dash in cardinal directions. So you're seeing that here from Darkened Sky right there. That one right there saves a little bit of time, unlike that first super speed that he went for, where it saves a few seconds because that screen was really large. Here, the screen's really small, so getting super speed, nailing it, doesn't save a whole lot of time. So, like, if you it's one of those situations where if you miss it, then you would have been better off just doing the dashes. So once again, they're making use of Pegasus Boots dashing. They're dashing on long distances, and then if there are some shorter distances or like some few other circumstances, then it's better to walk. All right, so Darkened Sky, first one into Desert Palace, where it's the kind of the first dungeon that really introduces dashing, as there's a lot of these long hallways, as well as a lot of backtracking. Ooh, taking a bonk there right onto the lever. Gonna be losing a little bit of damage, but it's not too bad. This dungeon is really easy to go through, but it kind of follows up with really annoying boss fights. So this is kind of where you'll be starting to see some separation towards the end of the dungeon. Oh, Papi also taking a hit from the lever. Not the same lever, but both of them having a little bit of trouble with dealing with levers in this dungeon. Alright, so let's see how the cannonball treats Darkened Sky. Okay, it looks like he has to go for an extra dash there. Also taking a hit in the cannonball room. So once again, there's going to be stock arrows, as they'll be needing a lot of them, especially for the boss of Desert Palace. So picking up some more arrows. 29 arrows is a really good arrow count for the Landmola's fight coming up. And as he gets his power glove, he's now going to be making his way to the other part of the dungeon. Desert Palace, as well as some other dungeons, are all pretty unique in that there's multiple ways of entering a dungeon. So as a result, one of the nice things is if for some reason you die, then you will spawn at the halfway mark of the dungeon instead of at the beginning of the dungeon. Darkened Sky, very bold, going for the desert spin speed. That does save a little bit of time over just dashing to the second part, but it's extremely risky because if you're not careful, you could fall down the ledge, and then you have to start the dungeon over again. Very bold move, but I respect the play. It's commendable. Meanwhile, I believe, okay, yeah, so we saw Papi do the dash instead, the more safer approach into the second part of Desert Palace. So as the runners are doing a couple of key dashes, and Sky being the first one into Landmola's, we'll see how Landmola's treats Sky. This could be a bit of an equalizer for Papi to counter, depending on how Landmola's treats Darkened Sky. We'll see what happens here. So he's going to go ahead and set himself up in position. Okay, pretty good opener. The third Landmola didn't quite treat him as well as he'd like. And oh man. So Landmola is just a big read and react boss fight. It's just all RNG with some things that you can do, but okay, very nice. Okay, so not too bad. I believe that was 4 cycles for Darkened Sky. So that's still pretty okay of a fight. Meanwhile, let's look at Papi. It's like Landmola's giving a similar treatment here. Oh, man. Yeah, so the hard part about Landmola's is just reading and reacting as to where the Landmolas are going to go to. It's really hard to kind of predict where they're going to go. Typically, if they're on like the left side, then they're more likely to go to the right. But sometimes that doesn't always happen. You see, so like, and there's not really anything you can do about that if you predict incorrectly, which is not really a good way of knowing. So meanwhile here, so both runners still leaving Desert Palace, roughly around this similar distance from when they entered the dungeon. Darkened Sky going for his fake flippers, very nice, well done. And now it's gonna be Papi's turn. Hopefully we don't see anything funny. And because Darkened Sky had a pretty good Landmola's fight, his arrow count's actually looking really good, to where you can actually use arrows, a little bit of extra arrows, for Mountain Tower, or the Tower of Hera. Looks like Papi struggling to get the pixel. Okay, very nice. Okay, so Papi's screen transitioning on that screen makes it so that if he does get hit, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. If he does get hit, he does not soft lock because that is the screen that he got the fake flippers. That was a little, that was a little bit crazy, but Papi did make it through. So no major shenanigans and fake flippers today. That's good. That's what we like to see. But with how many races that we're going to be having in this tournament, it's bound to happen at least maybe one time. You know, I could be proven wrong given the quality of competitors of this year's tournament. But we'll see what happens. So looks like Darkness Sky took 1 heart of damage on the way to as he's climbing Death Mountain, due to the RNG of either the boulders or the dead rocks. It's just random. There's not really much you can do about it. And if you do take too much damage on the way to Mountain Tower, then that damage can add up very quickly, especially since a lot of enemies in this dungeon all do 1 heart of damage. Having a little bit of trouble with the mini Moldorm there. Darkest Sky gonna go for the standstill strat, where he just lets the tiles hit him as he holds his sword out and dashes. And Papi is now on his way to Tower of Hera, or Mountain Tower. There's 2 different names for this dungeon. The credits say it's Mountain Tower, so I guess officially it's called Mountain Tower. So Darkest Sky gonna use the pot to hit the very last tile, so that way it defeats the last tile as early as he can in order to make the tile room go by. That's kind of the only thing that you can make the tile room go any faster, is just defeat the last tile as early as you can. So he got the big key, and now he's going to be making his way to the very top of the tower now. And coming up, there's going to be another sequence break in the run, where he's going to be doing a bomb jump. So he positions himself towards the edge of the pit, as well as the bomb towards the edge of the pit. Ooh, hits the star platform! Uh-oh! Okay! Those beetles can be pretty rough, but he managed to dodge them just fine. But yeah, if he places himself and the bomb towards the edge of the pit, then the bomb will boost him across the pit, without having him go to the very top of the floor. And okay, very nice, very good setup right there. With the chest turn, if you can do it, then that saves a frame. So swag points goes to Darkened Sky, and now he got the Moon Pearl pretty early, and now he's going to be on his way to fighting Moldorm. And Moldorm is really annoying for anybody who's played the game before. So we'll see how Moldorm treats Darkened Sky. It takes 6 hits to beat Moldorm. You can only hit the tail. The head like kind of bounces him around. You don't want to fall down, otherwise the fight resets. Moldorm gets his health back. This is actually a pretty good fight. Very well done. Meanwhile, Papi on his way to the bomb jump. So we'll see. A little unfortunate with the petting zoo, as they call it. Okay, doing a bit of a more traditional setup here, where you place yourself towards the edge of the pit and then use a bonk, and then land on the explosion in order to give yourself an extra pixel window to land the bomb jump. So a little bit slower, but also just a much safer setup than what Dark Sky was going for. Unfortunately, Papi does have 2 hearts, but he did hit the extra switch on his way to the climb, so that way he can pick up those hearts and then have a little bit more wiggle room to work with for Moldorm. So we'll see how Moldorm treats Papi as Dark Sky makes his way to the Master Sword in Lost Woods. Okay, kind of playing it safe, kind of keeping his distance from Moldorm. As long as you fight Moldorm and not fall down, then you typically have a good enough fight. Oh boy. Come on. Moldorm, please. Oh. Oh! Come on! Okay, okay. No falls this time. Alright. Typically, so what you saw there, it looked like Papi was gonna fall down a couple of times, but he was actually holding a sword out as Moldorm was pushing him around, and if you hold your sword out and face away from the pit, you were not gonna fall down. So well done for Papi on that. Meanwhile, Darkened Sky got the Master Sword. Oh my gosh, the Dead Rock. So, Papi taking damage there is a bit unfortunate. He's not going to have full HP going into Castle Dungeon. You definitely want to have full hearts going into Castle Dungeon, which is the next dungeon that they're going to be going to, in order to pull off some strats with like sword beams and such. But it's not the end of the world if without full HP. He just has to approach a couple of rooms of Castle Dungeon a little bit differently. So meanwhile, you're seeing that Darkened Sky is killing a few, like arbitrarily killing some enemies, and that is so he can grab some rupees off of the trees. And it looks like he got blue rupees out of that, so he has to make up some rupees now, because he needs 100 rupees going into the Dark World. And he's not going to have that now. So this is actually a very big opportunity for Papi to catch up, because Papi already has all the rupees that he needs. Darkened Sky is gonna have to make up rupees somehow. So hopefully he has those backup rupees planned. Okay, it looks like he is gonna go pull this tree. Okay, and then gets the red rupees. Okay, so that backup was not as bad as as I imagined it to be, and he even gets the hearts too for killing those blue soldiers, so he will have full HP going into Castle Dungeon. So very nice, well done for Dark Sky adapting to the situation given to him. Otherwise, usually maybe if you're doing like a PB attempt, then that might be a reset. But since, you know, this is a tournament and you're doing a bunch of races, you don't really have that much of an option. So well done to it for adapting to that. Looks like Darkest Sky having a little bit unfortunate with the gold soldiers and the two soldiers right there. So him slashing those two soldiers means he's probably not gonna get a. I mean, he got a heart, so he's probably still on pace to get a fairy in the desired spot that he wants later on. We'll see what happens here. Oh man, unfortunately, the enemy's not treating him very nicely. Yeah, so Castle Dungeon is a very technical dungeon. A lot of enemies in like a lot of enemies that they have to dodge or fight very quickly, and so far, like, a lot of these enemies are not treating him very, very kindly. So as Darkened Sky is now halfway through Castle Dungeon, Papi just entered, so Papi about a half a dungeon apart here. Papi going for a different strat than what you saw Darkened Sky going for, where he lures the two gold soldiers into the bottom. And then do two double spins on the gold soldiers. Meanwhile, okay, very nice circle of pots room for Darkened Sky. You also saw Papi just didn't go for the prize pack manipulation. You know, it's not something that's like mandatory, but it does help for later dungeons to making sure that, like, you have a safe amount of HP. But yeah, so now we have guessing game time. So I want to see some numbers in chat. As Darkest Sky is about to fight Aghanim now. Pretty rough Castle Dungeon for Darkened Sky. Does give Papi a little bit of an opportunity to catch up. This segment could also give Papi even more time to catch up. with blue balls here. If Darkest Sky gets a lot of blue balls, but we'll see what happens here. The two red soldiers not playing nice with Papi. Okay, very nice right there. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and take a look at Darkened Sky with blue balls. Very good circle of pots for Papi. The second red soldier moved downwards on the side, which is really good RNG for that room. That is the most ideal that you want to see. So far, no blue balls for Darkened Sky right now, which is really good RNG. So that does eliminate a lot any possibility of having a pretty rough Aghanim fight. So there's one blue ball already. That's his first blue ball right now. One blue ball. All right. So unfortunately, depending on what happens for Papi, Papi's definitely gonna have his work cut out for him going into the second half of the run. So we'll see what happens as Darkened Sky makes his way into the Dark World, where it's 8 more dungeons left, and you can do the dungeons in several different orders, with the 1st and 8th one always being 1st and 8th. We got one blue ball already for Papi. That's 2 blue balls for Papi, so already Darkened Sky is extending his lead over Papi here. Okay, so Papi just needs one more hit. Oh, that's 3 blue balls. So this next attack is definitely going to be a guaranteed energy shot. So, which means that Papi, assuming he doesn't miss this shot, will have 3 blue balls. Alright, there it is. Alright, meanwhile, Darkened Sky has the rupees, so he will be paying Kiki the toll price of 110 rupees to enter Palace of Darkness, the first dungeon here in the Dark World. And this is definitely where we're going to be seeing the entire Dark World segment is definitely another major part where you see pretty significant separations between different tiers of runners. Okay, so grabbing the first key. Pretty much the first part of this dungeon is definitely just grabbing a bunch of keys, falling down pits, grabbing keys, mirror back. Papi does not get the pyramid spin speed, so he's just going to take the dashes. Darkened Sky replenishing on bombs, because having quite a bit of bombs is very plentiful throughout the... Oh, blows himself up, taking 100 damage, but that's still fine, as long as you can make it out of the first half of the dungeon with 3 missing hearts. So that means he can only afford to get the this next upcoming trick first try. Papi walking past the Ropa. I feel like, in my opinion, that's a little bit risky because that Ropa can definitely hit you. At least he has a chance to hit you if you're just walking like that. But here we go. Coming up is the hammer bomb jump for Darkened Sky. We'll see what happens here. Both the bomb and Link have to be in very precise positions. Looks like a fairy has dropped there for Darkened Skies, which means that he's not going to have a fairy drop for Turtle Rock. So he does have to hope that Turtle Rock goes really well for him later on. Like I said, it's not the most important thing to do to have a fairy in Turtle Rock, but it does give you some relief in that dungeon, as there's a lot of hard-hitting enemies in that dungeon. So meanwhile here, very good hammer bomb jump for Dark and Sky as he's now going to conclude the rest of the dungeon here. He does do a precise arrow shot in order to not go around, hit the switch in order to get to the part that he's at right now. Misses the green. Oh my gosh. Losing a lot of arrows. Oh, come on, grab those arrows, yep. Definitely want to make up the arrows that he lost. As that was definitely a lot of arrows wasted. And like I said, the arrow routing is not the most, like, it's not like super precise, like down to the arrow count like some other Zelda games are, as there's always some opportunities for arrow replenishment. Papi having a little bit of trouble with the ledge as he makes his way to his attempt at the bomb jump. Oh, that bomb placement's a little bit far, but maybe this will work anyway. Oh, yeah. So he placed that bomb a little bit too far away, so he wasn't able to get enough distance in order to clip to that railing. Also, something I missed is Papi actually picked up a mushroom, which tells me that later on he's going to either go for a trick known as fake powder or magic powder. So this is assuming if he goes for powder, then that's about a minute detour over because Dark and Sky did not pick up the mushroom, which means he's not going to get powdered at all. You know, with the times that Papi has, you'll be seeing runners around that range time of PBs maybe go for a couple of extra items in order to have a likelier chance at finishing their runs without dying. As they continue learning more execution strats. Anyway, very good Helmasaur King fight for Dark and Sky. Papi also getting his hammer bomb jump on his second try, which is good because that means he's going to have full HP going into this second part. And having full HP for the second part is really good because you probably saw earlier he just hit a switch from a distance without having to use his bow, and then there's going to be another switch later on where he's going to be using sword beams, otherwise he has the menu to either the bow or the boomerang to hit that switch instead, which every menu is about a couple of seconds, so you don't want to be menuing more times than you need to. So this is kind of the part where, like, once you get the Master Sword, health management does become important in specific parts of the run, so that way you can have full HP at parts that you want to have full HP at. Dark and Sky going a little bit to the right in order to guarantee past that pink crow without taking a hit. That pink crow does do 3 hearts of damage if you let that crow hit you. So that's a bit of a safe movement that that I always go for, at least. You're seeing Papi actually do a different strat than what Dark and Sky went for in on the Helmasaur King fight, where Papi actually went for got super speed in order to extend the hitbox of the hammer to make it easier to hit Helmasaur King without having to hold your sword out. So pretty good Helmasaur King fights. This is definitely, even though this is the first Dark World dungeon, this is definitely not a very easy boss fight. So Dark and Sky got the flute at 3802. We'll see what Papi gets as he gets his flute. I'll keep an eye out. I just want to see the time differences. So you're going to see Dark and Sky go for a spin speed here. Now earlier, when he was at the screen on his way to the library, the spin speed would save barely anything if you get it perfectly. Oh, man. So you get that spin speed in order to avoid that red soldier, because that red soldier is really fast, but unfortunately, that Red Soldier got him anyway. So as you can see, Sky went to the right of the weather vane in order to have the bird leave the screen earlier. So that saves a little bit of time there. All right, so it looks like Papi is going to be about more than a minute behind Darkened Sky. Ooh, oh my gosh! So this is what you'll be seeing a lot of other runners do, where that movement that Papi did, that Pink Crow will barely miss you when you make that dash if you don't do what Darkened Sky did earlier. Oh man! So every once in a while, you can just randomly bonk because there is a skull rock hiding in the bushes, and there's no way for you to predict that, so you just lose time for basically no reason. And Darkest Sky actually takes a hit. He rolled right into the Poe as he pulled the entrance to Thieves Town. So he's already down 4 hearts as he makes his way to Thieves Town. Now, Thieves Town is not very hard to go through, but if you get unlucky in Thieves Town, the damage that you take by these enemies can add up very quickly. So he needs to be pretty careful as he makes his way through Thieves Town. Oh, he has 2 hearts! 1 heart! This could be Papi's chance! We'll see what happens here. There is an opportunity for a heart, but even then, that's not enough because there are some enemies that hit for 2 hearts of damage. Goes for the heart anyway, but these horsehead enemies, they do 2 hearts of damage, and then we have the Heckway coming up, which it can really be spicy at this low amount of HP. Oh man, the enemies are not treating him very nicely. Okay, he makes it through. Well done for Darkened Sky. But then now he has green spider-looking enemies to worry about, though. Ooh! Oh my gosh! Dude, my heart can take it this evening. Oh my gosh, Sky, what are you doing? Okay, meanwhile, he makes it through. Blows up the floor over there. Papi about to make his way to Thieves Town now. Papi having a lot more HP going into Thieves Town than Darkened Sky, so this will probably be an opportunity where we're going to be seeing Papi make up a bit of time over Darkened Sky. Also, to note, it looks like Papi is going for a trick known as Fake Powder. What that means, well, I guess I'll probably explain it when if Papi chooses to execute the trick. But for now, Fake Powder is a thing that Papi will be going for. Darkest Sky taking the smart move, going for the extra hearts, in case you know, something like, I don't know, messing up blind happens, which is definitely a real possibility. So, man, my heart kind of sank for a moment during Sky's segment of Dark Palace. Papi, meanwhile, taking a hit in that room with the 2 horse heads, taking another hit from the spike trap, and now it's Papi's turn through his Heckway. Okay, a little bit better RNG than Darkened Sky, saving a little bit more time, but unfortunately taking a little bit of damage. So he's gonna have 4 hearts, but at least he can take a hit from the green spider-looking enemies. Taking a hit from Darkened Sky. Oh my gosh! Well done for Darkened Sky. The fight went a little bit offhand, but fortunately not. He survived. Oh my gosh. The blind heads do 2 hearts of damage, whereas the fireballs do 1 heart, and one of those blind heads was very close to hitting Dark and Sky. So I was very close for a moment there. So as we go through a bit of a cutscene, it's time for, oh man, the horse head and this enemy not playing nice. Oh, taking a hit. That pink horse head was definitely waiting for Papi to switch sides, so that way he can shoot him down. And that is unfortunately what happens here. So I imagine Papi's probably going to go for the same approach, which is to pick up 2 hearts in the jail. Okay, Darkened Sky going for the... Oh my gosh. You do need to be careful while you're picking up those hearts, because there's a red horse head, that guy, who will definitely hit you while you're trying to go for the hearts. So that was a little bit scary when he was kind of messing around there. So meanwhile, Darkened Sky going for the Tempered Sword. Now you might think that the Tempered Sword is optional, so why pick it up? And that's because the Tempered Sword, it saves so much time that it is very much worth it. Even though it takes it's a pretty significant detour, but the extra damage that you'll be doing in the rest of the dungeons, it adds up significantly, especially in the late game dungeons where enemies later on will have a lot more HP. And the Master Sword just won't really cut it very well. Okay, taking a little bit hit. Oh, he needs to be careful. Again, the blind heads do 2 hearts of damage. Oh my gosh. And that's what happens there. Getting sniped from the laser. So now, unfortunately, Papi is going to have to deal with the death cycle that is a blind. And this isn't really something, as far as I know, this isn't really something that anybody practices. So, oh man, getting lost on the way to, on the way back to Thieves Town. Yeah, this isn't really something that anybody practices, as far as I know. So this fight's gonna be something when he makes his way back. So he's gonna pick up an extra heart there. So let's see what happens here. Meanwhile, Darkest Sky got his Tempered Sword and is now making his way to Skull Woods, the 3rd dungeon. It is his 3rd dungeon, so it does kind of work out that he's going in order in that sense. Meanwhile, Papi, oh my gosh, I'm really scared for this. Meanwhile, Darkened Sky in another really horrible room. The Gibdos are starting to give him some action here. Oh no! Oh no, come on! Oh, the Wall Master! Okay. That is definitely the hardest room of this dungeon. Made it through just fine. We're seeing a lot of crazy stuff happening. Papi actually defeats Blind on the death cycle. Well done for him. Oh man. Unfortunately, with the death, that is definitely going to extend Darkest Sky's lead. Sky trying to go for the fairy. The fairy flies away from him, which means now his health count is gonna be looking really unfortunate. For the rest of the dungeon. Oh my gosh, the mini Moldorm. There is so much craziness going for. He goes for the fall. I mean, while it is the strat, I don't agree with that with 3 hearts. Because there are coming up, the Gibdos coming up the next part of Skull Woods, they do 2 hearts of damage if he happens to get hit, and also Mothula as well. So, I mean, hopefully he'll be fine. We'll see. Okay. Oh my gosh, that mini Moldorm. Okay, going for extra hearts. Okay, I respect that play. Alright, going for the extra heart. Alright, I respect that play. Alright. Again, this is an opportunity for Papi to catch up. If Papi does not have this much of a struggle as Sky's had with this dungeon. You're gonna be seeing Sky try to lure the Gibdo in a way where he can actually slash the Gibdo into the spikes in order to do extra damage. That way you can hit that Gibdo in 2 slashes. And now coming up is Mothula, so we'll see what happens here. Using a combination of Sword Slash and the Fire Rod in order to do some damage here. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh! That was... Oh, okay, he survived that. That was crazy, though. That was very close to death right there. Tarkin Sky and Papi both playing with the commentators' hearts. As Sky concludes Skull Woods. And now Papi getting his 300 rupees, which will bring him about 600 rupees. They need 500 rupees right now, and so they'll have 100 extra rupees to work off of. So, and that's just how the rupee routing works. Yeah. So so Papi, an entire dungeon behind. But this is a Link to the Past, and in a Link to the Past, anything can happen, so... it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility, but as Dark Sky continues to extend his lead, that does mean that Papi is slowly but surely running out of time to even make up the deficit. Papi actually having a much better first room than Dark Sky, so he's already making up time over Dark Sky. So we'll see if he can keep this up here. He definitely needs it after the unfortunate Thieves Town. So Papi setting up for the bomb jump here. Very nice. Now, sometimes if you're lucky, the bomb placement can actually hit these mini Moldorms, so that way you have a free chance of getting the Fire Rod, but it's very rare to see that happen. So you saw Papi actually taking the safe approach, even though it is technically faster to fall down and respawn at the beginning of the room. He took the safer approach, and that is to bonk over the pit in order to save a heart. Likely with the mindset of the fact that the rest of Skull Woods is really difficult and has a lot of hard-hitting enemies, so he wants to have as much hearts as possible. Which is definitely a pretty safe approach. As that's pretty much the nature of how Dark World works in this game. So as you can see right here, Papi already making up some time. Didn't need to get any extra hearts, as he's having a really good Skullwood so far. Really good Torches room. Now we'll see how the Key Gibdo treats him. Mirrors to mirror, as an attempt to not have to use the Fire Rod at all on Mothula. Dark Sky, meanwhile, got his flippers. So we'll see how Mothula treats Papi. Takes a hit already. He needs to be careful. Mothula does 2 hearts of damage, and the spike traps move all over the place too. Oh my gosh. Papi, I'm not... Okay, switches the Fire Rod. Oh, he can't get hit. He can't get hit. No! Ah, Papi was having a really good Skullwoods, at least in comparison to Dark Sky. And to see that fall apart on Mothula is super unfortunate. Meanwhile, we're seeing Dark Sky entering Ice Palace. Personally, one of my favorite dungeons to do in the speedrun. Yeah, we're seeing Papi having to farm off of Gyptos because he does not have the magic to use Fire Rod shots in the torches room. He might have to switch to lamp in an attempt to save magic, and it looks like, yeah, he didn't get the magic drops that he wanted, so he's gonna have to use the lamp, which is definitely a loss. This is the punishment for dying to Mothula. So as you see with those two magic drops that he picked up, that is barely enough to go through that torches room. Picks up the extra heart there. He doesn't need to get the Gibdo key, as he already picked that up. Okay, alright, meanwhile, Darkest Sky setting up for the Ice Palace bomb trip, gets it! And now we're seeing Papi going for Mothula. Already taking... Okay, much better that time. Okay, very nice for Darkened Sky. So he has good amount of HP going into Cold Stare. So he's so far having a really good Ice Palace segment, which is definitely something that he needs after how dungeons like Thieves Town, Skull Woods went for him throughout this run. He is definitely due for a segment that he can be proud of. Unless Cold Stare has something to say, but we'll see what happens. Very nice Cold Stare. So that was a really good Ice Palace for Darkened Sky. So meanwhile, as Darkened Sky concludes Ice Palace, Papi now making his way to get flippers, and then will be into Ice Palace. So for the new viewers, it is possible to fake flippers to Ice Palace, but it does not save time because, well, it's slower, and you also need flippers anyway for Swamp Palace later. So they get flippers as it is on the way to Ice Palace with this path over here. Okay, Papi taking a bit of a different approach in this screen in order to guarantee not losing the lottery. As normally with the approach that a lot of people take in that screen, that Ropa does have a chance of just hitting you, even if you do everything in that screen correctly. Alright, so let's see what Darkest Sky does here. Okay, going to Ether. Alright, so it's technically faster to get Ether after the next dungeon, but this is a bit suboptimal, as this guarantees he'll have full HP going into Misery Mire, as he can deal with the RNG here, as having full HP would be nice in Swamp Palace, but it's definitely less impactful having full HP in Swamp Palace than it is with Misery Mire. So he gets Ether here. Meanwhile, Papi just got Quake. And now Papi will be getting flippers pretty soon. We're seeing a map on Darkened Sky, which means he is on world record pace. Okay, so Darkened Sky is going to Swamp Palace. So you'll also be seeing some runners in the tournament, where this is kind of like the first part where you'll be seeing runners kind of diverge in their routes over other people. Some would get Ether during Swamp, some will get them during Misery Mire, and then some people will also get Ice Rod, which is another item that they need to get. And it looks like Darkest Sky's gonna get Ice Rod a little bit later. Ice Rod is an item that's very far out of the way, so it can be, if you're not thinking about it, then you can forget about it. So you do need to get Ice Rod at some point. Ooh, Papi taking a hit on the way to Ice Palace, which is definitely not a good thing because it does mean that the second room of Ice Palace is going to be slower, and then there's another room coming up that will be slower as well, and then also just having less hearts for Cold Stare. Okay, approaching this room with spin attacks. Meanwhile, Darkest Sky going into Swamp Palace. There's not really a whole lot to say about Swamp Palace, as there's not really much you can do in order to sequence break that dungeon. It's just movement, reacting to enemy patterns, and the dungeon itself is overall just really easy to go through in comparison to a lot of other dungeons. Meanwhile, Papi is now going to make his way pretty soon to the bomb jump. Guess we can go. I guess while there's not really, I don't really have a whole lot to say. We have, I guess I can talk about the players here. So looking at these guys' speedrun resumes, Papi is dabbled into other games like Final Fantasy X, DuckTales, Donkey Kong even. And then Darkest Sky has also dabbled into a few other games as well, such as Mario Party 3, Ocarina of Time, and even Ocarina of Time 3D. Ah, a little bit off on the bomb jump there for Papi. Okay, very nice. Much better on the second go. Okay, he's gonna wait the fire bar out, as he didn't want to get hit by the fire bar. His health count is still pretty good as he's making his way to Cold Stare. And if he wants to be extra super safe, then there is an opportunity for a fairy that's like very far out of the way. Okay, he's taking it very safe here, where he's opting to wait for the spike trap to go. Darkest Sky got the big key. And we'll see how Cold Stare goes, as Darkest Sky got the hook shot. But let's watch Papi fight Cold Stare here. I definitely want to see Papi get a... Oh my gosh! Oh, this is not... Oh, this is not good. He's running for his life! Oh my gosh! Papi, please. Come on. Alright? Oh my gosh! No! Okay, so this is unfortunately the biggest time loss, as there's not really a good way to skip the dungeon. He has to essentially go through pretty much all the dungeon again, with the exception of, you know, a couple of keys that he's already gotten. So he has a couple of options. He can either try and get magic, because you need it in order to get past the first room, or you can go to Swamp Palace, which it looks like he's just going to go to Swamp Palace. First going to get Ether. Man, that's super rough. I wanted to see Papi catch up to Darkest Sky, but man, that's it's gonna be really hard at this point, unless something disastrous happens to Darkest Sky. Meanwhile, Darkest Sky having a pretty good, oh, very nice, pretty good Swamp Palace overall. Like I said, Swamp Palace definitely is, um, not really a dungeon that you should be sleeping on, but there's definitely just not really not really, much to talk about. So Papi just got his ether. And now let's see where he goes next. Is he gonna go get Ice Rod or Swamp? He's going for Ice Rod. Alright. So this is kind of the part where it'll be somewhat hard to know what's going on, but we know for sure that Sky is ahead of Papi with you know, the unfortunate 3 deaths and just overall just having a really nice run, all things considered. And to give credit, Papi is definitely not having, while he's definitely having unfortunate segments, like he's definitely holding his own right now. As a cold stare death is definitely something that it's a very common forfeit spot. Like no major glitches itself is a very popular race category, but a cold stare death is definitely a very common run ender when it comes to races. So I definitely admirable for Papi to definitely like still holding his all despite that huge time loss that is the cold stare death. So meanwhile, Dark Sky now making his way into Misery Mire. Very nice ones, Zero Cycle. Zero Cycles being defeating all those Wizards before any of them have a chance to disappear. This is a dungeon where health management is very important because the fastest way to beat Vitreous, the boss, is lots of intentional damage. So you definitely want to conserve as much health as you can. Any hard drop that you can get on the way throughout the dungeon, it is very much appreciated. Fire Snake definitely not playing nice with Sky. But I'm sure at this rate, assuming Sky knows what's going on, he can pretty much play the rest of the run safe without having to worry too much about Papi catching up. Because at this rate, like, at least for Papi, he definitely cannot hope to outplay Sky. Yeah, his only hope is to hope that Sky has something disastrous happen. And not just once, but multiple times. And it's not like impossible, but it's definitely at this rate, that's just what he has to hope for. So Dark Sky getting his big key in Misery Mire. Also, I think I missed it, but earlier you probably saw Dark Sky pick up the rock to warp to the Dark World in the Misery Mire screen in a pretty specific way, and that's to manipulate some stuff in the game in order to set up a trick for this dungeon coming up. So, obtaining the Can of Samaria there, as that's the item to dungeon. You need it for this dungeon, as well as in Turtle Rock later. Okay, very nice. Taking 3 intentional damage in the spikes in order to... okay, passes up that heart, but getting 1 extra heart there is fine. Alright, so here we go. So now he's going to be pulling off Spooky Mire. So he's going to go ahead and set it up. Okay, I like that approach right there. Setting up from below. in order to make sure that he doesn't deal with the fireballs. Alright, so assuming he did everything correctly, it's going to look really weird. Just like that. Oh wow, he actually goes around that railing. Oh, Papi, unfortunate. Okay, very nice. And just like that. So that did look really weird. But basically, he manipulates some stuff in the game that affects the fire rod shots. To where he can hit stuff like off screen. And oh my gosh. Okay, this is not good. He does have his health is fine. Okay, no, it's not fine. Okay, he's through. Okay. That could have been really bad because those eyeballs do 4 hearts of damage. So, if you go off script in that fight, then that fight can go really badly. But fortunately, Sky recovered out of that just fine. Papi recovering some hearts here as he makes his way towards Argus. You're not likely to die to Argus, especially at 5.5 hearts. But I guess you could, you know, get majorly unlucky. So we'll see what happens here for Papi. Oh man. Meanwhile, Darkest Sky getting Ice Rod now. Oh man, Papi not getting good luck with this fight. Okay, he's through. He's past the hard part. Okay, very nice. Okay, so meanwhile, Darkest Sky got all the items that he needs, and now he'll be on his way to Turtle Rock. Okay, first stop, getting a little bit unfortunate RNG with those dead rocks as he makes his way. Oh, he's going for the drive-thru. Oh, he almost got it. That would have been really sick if he got that. So what he was trying to do was he was trying to keep super speed throughout the entire screen. We call that the drive-thru. Oh, maps again, the double map. Now he's really on world record pace. And now he's making his way to Turtle Rock as he goes through a couple of cave screens. And his health is looking really good, so he does not need the extra fairy drop. Splashes that dead rock out of the way in order to make sure he's not in the way as he climbs these ladders for the Pegs puzzle. And Papi through Swamp Palace, so he can either go back to Ice Palace or do Misery Mire. Let's see what he chooses to do. He is thinking. He is... Where is he going? Where is... Hold up, I'm curious about this. Is this a new route that I'm... Okay, so, I guess he probably doesn't know that you can just fluke to Lake Hylia, which is 8, in order to go straight to Ice Palace. Because what it looks like to me is he is going to Zora's Domain, warp there from the Dark World into Zora's Domain, and then swim to Ice Palace that way, into Lake Hylia. Meanwhile, Darkness Sky going into Turtle Rock now, getting an extra heart, as well as filling up on magic. Got some Pokies here. No fairy drop. That's kind of what you expect, since he did get an earlier fairy drop earlier. Oh my gosh! Wow! He didn't get hit! He used the iframes from the pegs in order to not get hit by the chain chomps through that. So that was very genius move from Darkness Sky. Otherwise, that room is really scary to go through. Okay. Meanwhile, Papi just made his way back to Ice Palace. So again, he already has all the keys. He just needs to go back to Cold Stare. He has to perform the bomb jump again. But fortunately, since he has the hook shot, it can make some rooms a little bit easier, potentially. Definitely not faster, but definitely easier. Oh, wow! Darkness Sky approached that room from the bottom, which is really scary. Because, if... you could, transform back to human, from the bottom, and then you just get sniped by the laser, and then it's really bad. Okay, double pokies, a little bit of trouble. Oh, his heart is not looking really good going into the second half of the dungeon. Oh, this is actually not good. There is one intentional damage that you take, but it looks like he's gonna have to play it safe. With the Dark Room. So this is not good for Darkest Sky. This could be the opportunity that Papi needs in order to make up some time over Darkest Sky, but it's definitely not going to be enough time to completely make up the deficit that Papi has already lost over Sky. Okay, yeah, so Sky's going to use the hook shot. So the hook shot, if we use the hook shot, you saw him abuse this already in the spike roller room, where you can't get hit while you're using you're using the hook shot. So he abuses that by having the fire bars go right through him while he's using the hook shot. Unfortunately, the consequence is that the platform actually stops in place while he's using the hook shot. So it's definitely not the move that you want to be doing if you can help it. And it looks like Darkest Sky, aware of his lead right now, taking the safety door. So that way, if for some reason he dies, he'll spawn right over here to this room. So he grabs the key, so he doesn't have to perform laser skip again if he dies. Trinex does do 4 hearts of damage if you do get hit by Trinex. So that's definitely a pretty smart play. Oh, what is going on here? Grabbing a blue rupee. God, Papi back at 4 hearts. If he takes a hit from Cold Stare again, he's gonna die. No! Oh man, this is not Papi's run tonight. Meanwhile, really good Trinex fight from Darkest Sky. Yeah, the unfortunate part is he has to now look for Papi has to look for magic now. He can't just go to Misery Mire because he needs magic in order to enter Misery Mire. Okay, he knows his backup, so he's going to go to Kakariko, bonk on this tree coming up, which has a full or where's he going? Okay. He knows where he's going. He knows where he's going. Yeah, so he's gonna hammer this, bonk in this tree, which will give him a full magic drop. He's having a little bit of trouble trying to bonk on it. There it is. So now he has his magic, and now he'll make his way back to Lake Hylia to get mad to Okay. He must have heard me when I mentioned the Lake Hylia flute spot. Okay. Yeah, this is one of those things in the tournament. Sometimes racers will listen to the commentary or not listen to the commentary, depending on what their mentality is during these races. And so, Papi is definitely aware of... Oh my gosh, okay. So we're seeing Sky make his way to Ganon's Tower now that he has all 7 crystals to make his way to Ganon's Tower, and this is an execution-heavy dungeon. The biggest skill check amongst the runners that separates different tiers of runners. It should be worth noting that before Sky's unfortunate mishaps throughout Turtle Rock, he was on PB pace. So, you know, unfortunate that Turtle Rock had to go the way it went for him, but he's still on pace to... He's definitely still on pace to win the race. So he's using a combination of hook shots and boomerangs in order to hit some switches. He did take damage, so he's not going to have beams, but that's... Well, with this HP, it's not... Oh, man. Yeah, with this HP, it's not the biggest deal, losing that much HP right now. But it could cause some issues later on, depending on how the rest of Ganon's Tower goes. Alright, so Darkened Sky now making his way to Ice Armos. And since he has so much of a lead, he could go for safeties like Red Mail or whatever. Oh, messing up the fight. Oh, this is going to be... Alright, hopefully he can recover this. This is still salvageable. Alright, there we go. Alright, grabs the extra arrows. Now he's going to be making his way to the juicy part of Ganon's Tower, which is the big climb to the top floor. There's going to be lots of enemy rooms where he has to fight enemies here. Ooh, I actually like this strat. Just constantly swing your sword instead of doing it in a bit of a rhythm, as you see most runners do. Ooh, very nice mimics for Darkened Sky. I like that. Getting good mimics is definitely very satisfying. Ooh, taking the safe approach. Oh wow! Wow. This is some new tech I've never seen before. Meanwhile, Papi just won the battle against Cold Stare. Very nice for him. And now he'll be on his way to Misery Mire. It can definitely be very demoralizing knowing that you've died, you know, once in Thieves Town, once in Skull Woods, and then twice in Ice Palace. But I definitely commend the strong effort that Papi is making into trying to battle through this run. This is definitely a very this is how brutal Link to the Past speedruns can get. So I do like I said, I commend the Papi's ability to hold his all on this, despite all the ups and downs that he's went through tonight. Meanwhile, we saw a really good gauntlet for Darkened Sky, as well as a pretty good Land Mullas. Not one cycle, but it's still 2 cycles still pretty good for that fight. You have much stronger equipment, so it's much easier to deal with the Land Mullas this time around. Yeah, so far Darkened Sky has had a pretty nice Ganon's Tower at the moment. Ooh, mismenus to Quake. Using Quake for the Torches room would be kind of unfortunate considering Quake does use quite a lot of magic. But he knows what he's doing. Using the torch, using the lamp and the fire rod. Very nice. Now he has the option to go for, okay, goes for the 1 extra heart. Going up to the top of the screen for a little bit of a... Okay, that was scary. Those lasers do 4 hearts of damage, so that 1 heart that he picked up would have been for nothing if he got hit by those lasers for some reason. Ooh, weaving right in between those spike traps. Oh, using the ice rod for this room. Okay, grabs his very last key, and now it's for Moldorm 2 time. It is technically possible to skip this fight, but he's going for it. Oh, hold up. Oh man. Darkened Sky, content with his lead, attempting to hover to skip Moldorm. Wow. He's gonna go for it again. Will he do it? Yes! Okay. So that does skip fighting Moldorm, and it saves 6 seconds if you get it first try. But given his lead, he definitely has the time to do it. That was crazy. I never would have expected... I never expect anybody to go for hovering, but when someone does go for hover, it's really cool. Alright, but now for Aghanim 2. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. Alright, 1 more. Oh man, this is not good patterns. Okay, there we go. 3 cycles, still really good. Okay, so despite the hover fail, that was a really good Ganon's tower for Darkened Sky. It looks like Papi is actually going to throw in the towel for this race. So GG's to Papi. You know, commendable effort for holding his all. You know, very unfortunate that it had to turn out the way it did for him. Meanwhile, Darkened Sky off to fighting Ganon here. He did defeat Cold Stare, and you know, respects. Not a lot of people could push through 2 Cold Stare deaths. Okay. Darkened Sky had really good first and second phases of Ganon. Let's see how the warps treat Darkened Sky. Got his torch glitch. If you light the left torch before the right one goes out, the right one will never go out, and that saves a lot of magic for this fight. Also, for the new viewers, you're noticing he does not have silver arrows, which is why he's fighting Ganon like this. Otherwise, silver arrows is much faster than what Darkness Sky is doing. And these spins that Darkness Sky is going for, they are pretty precise, despite how easy he made them look. And there we go, Darkness Sky defeats Ganon. And he is going to end off with a sub 130. $128.56. He has not he is not done on he's actually still going on race time. I'm not sure if we're going for I'm not sure if we're going by the race time or his real time. I guess if we're going for real time, then that may have to be retime. But either way, no big deal. Congrats, Dark and Sky, on the finish. And we'll see if we can get him in for a post race chat. Yeah, congratulations, Dark and Sky. Maybe not the way he wanted that race to go, despite Pappy's segments, but a win is a win. Can't really complain too much about that. And it looks like we're here with Sky. So Sky, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm all right. It could have been better, but I choked out the sub one the sub 129. I still got the 128. So that's all right.
All right. So I'm assuming you were very much aware of what Pappy was doing, with the 4 deaths that he had.
Kudos to Papi for continuing. Like, I probably would have been done after the first one. I'm not gonna lie. It takes a different kind of mental fortitude to keep going through all that.
Yeah.
So, GG's for that.
Yeah. So man, you're you definitely had me on edge during I believe Skullwoods, Thieves Town, I think. And Misery Mire too. You definitely had me on edge on watching when I was watching you go through some of those dungeons where you were at low HP and having some pretty rough enemy RNG. Let's talk about those. How were you feeling during those?
Yeah, it's really weird. This was a very strange run for me because I was just so many small movement things that caused me to get hit. The thing is, I'm house sitting for Spleeby right now, so I'm not actually playing on my own setup. I'm playing on his SNES when I normally play on a Super NT. And it's both good and bad, I think, because the spin in Ice Palace to kill all the Pen Gators, I never get that on Super NT, but I've had it every time on his SNES. But I think it also goes the other way where I'm running into things I wouldn't normally run into because it just feels slightly different.
Okay. Yeah, you did pretty good adapting to the setup that you're not normally used to. And let's see. Anything else that's worth talking? Is there anything else that that you wanted to talk about your run?
I mean, I don't know if there was too much special going on. Like you said earlier, I was on PB pace until Turtle Rock, but Turtle Rock is now my worst dungeon.
Yeah.
It definitely needs scratches.
Yeah. So did you take that safety door because you were in the lead, or is it because you didn't want to lose too much time from dying?
No, wow, I'm sorry, English is hard. I spend all day at work and then I can't speak. I don't think I would have done that in a run. If it was like not a race, I probably would have
Or did
just
I say
risked
run?
it.
Yeah. Sorry, I meant to say like because you were ahead of Pappy. Were you did that because you were ahead of Pappy, or you because you didn't want to die?
I was it was because I didn't want to die. In like a regular speedrun setting, I wouldn't do it, but I think if I'm that low on health, I'll do it every time in a race. Just because it's so much worse to die and go all the way back to the beginning of Turtle Rock. Like no
Yeah.
matter how far ahead I am, it doesn't matter to me. I'd still probably take that door if I'm thinking I'm gonna die.
Yeah, of course.
That's the same reason I went for the hover at the end though, is like because I had been on PB pace, I was like, well, if I get the hover first try, I can make up a little bit of time and maybe choke this out. But then I dropped it, and it's all good in the end.
Hmm. That was still really cool that you did go for it though.
Yeah, I play a lot of glitch Drando, and I do a lot of hovering in those, so I'm
Ah,
pretty
okay.
well practiced at it.
All right. So going forward in the rest of your tournament run, what do you look forward to as more races happen throughout the tournament?
I mean, I like watching other races to improve or see where I can improve, but I am looking forward to practicing Turtle Rock because like I've been nailing a lot of the other dungeons. I practiced Swamp this week and really like Swamp went pretty okay. I still need to learn Zero Cycle Argus, but that's a whole separate thing. Uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, I'm really looking forward to like optimizing Turtle Rock. It's really fun once you know like optimal routes and what you're doing wrong, and
Yeah.
then it just feels really good.
Um, all right. So I think that is going to be it. Congratulations, Sky, on winning the race. I know it probably may not been uh, how you would want it to go, but uh, a win's a win. So I wish you good luck on the rest of the tournament.
Thanks.
Um, and yeah, if you guys like, and for anybody in the chat, looking forward to more races. And you liked hearing me, I have a race tomorrow morning. So
Heck yeah.
yeah, wish me luck on that. But yeah, aside from that, I think that's going to be it for the stream. So thank you all so much for watching, and I guess I'll hand it over to baseball.
That's me. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm back. Great race,
Welcome back.
everybody. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thanks, runners, for running. Pappy, Sky, thanks a bunch. My heart was in my throat a lot during that race. It was okay. I was like stressed.
You're welcome.
But it was fun. It was fun. Hi checks. Funny that you're here. We're gonna rate you in a moment. But thanks mchan338. You did a great job solo commentating. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, that's gonna do it. We're, as I said, rating over to Chex. Chex Human is doing some A Link to the Past. No portals speedruns. I don't know what that means. I'm sure you do. So I hope you enjoy that. And we'll see you for more NMG some other time. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Thank you guys.